Alrighty, guys, welcome to tonight's session. It is Tuesday, June 27th. Hopefully, you guys have been having a good day today. So for tonight's session, I kind of want to, what we're going to be talking about is, number one, want to go over today's action, go over the trades we took in the morning, maybe reflect on, what we did right, what we did wrong. We had a pretty rough AM session, and then we ended up getting just a really strong move to the upside in the PM. So we'll talk about that, talk about the overall bias going into the day. How could we, maybe have, seen this, and then we'll talk about what we're going to look at going into tomorrow, and then we can maybe end off with a replay session if you guys would want to do that as well. So first thing I want to talk about is let's look at just ES here. So again, going into today, I had a little bit of a loose bias, but I was more long biased than I was bearish. The reason is because, again, on the daily time frame, we're in this daily fair value gap. We look like we're ready to get some sort of bounce, right? I still think all of this is now becoming low resistance liquidity. Now that we have bounced up, going into tomorrow, I definitely want to see more higher. So, but just looking at today's action, going into today, we had high here, high here. This was our external buy side level I was looking to get met. If we zoom in on the 15-minute, we had a really nice short opportunity in the morning that we ended up taking, and it ended up getting stopped out. So we want to review this, right? Maybe see what we could have done differently. So again, looking at our trade, we have a 15-minute high being swept. Let's zoom in. ES looks really clean. We got a clean market structure shift. Pull back to discount fair value gap. This is silver bullet right here. This fair value gap is silver bullet. I entered in short right here, put my stop at the top of the wick, and then we ended up coming up, and I ended up getting stop hunted right here. And then we ended up hitting that price target. So this was just unfortunate on ES, right? So, okay, what can we kind of do to look back at this and see how we can maybe have fixed this? Number one, I do want to zoom out and see if there was any other sort of fair value gap. There was that 2-minute. Again, that stop would have been the exact same. 3-minute, that stop would have been higher. So looking at the 3-minute, we do have this fair value gap here as well, right? So what would my stop be if I was going to trade this, right? Because it is a bigger fair value gap. My stop would be the top of that wick, right? Now, I could put my stop up here, but for my strategy and my edge, I don't do that because this completely ruins my risk reward. This, when I move my stop from something like this to something like this, it completely ruins the way I trade. And the reason is because I'm confident as how I trade right now, knowing that my wins are always going to outweigh my losses because of how I set up my risk to reward, right? But recently, we've been getting very choppy action recently, so I've been getting stopped out, and then the trade ends up going in my favor. So I want to take that into account, figure out how we can get around that, right? So looking back on this trade, I could have given this more room to these highs, and the reason is because normally when I take a fair value gap, I like to put it at the top of the wick, but I didn't take into account that on a bigger time frame here, we have a 3-minute fair value gap, and we have a 4-minute fair value gap, and the 4-minute and 3-minute fair value gap, both of those wicks are up here, and I would have never gotten stopped on this trade. Now, another thing that I could have potentially done is if I had just a little bit more confidence with this. I think I was a little bit thrown off as well by the action. It was very, very slow action, right? Normally, most of the time, I would want to see this, right? I would want to see this. We come up right when I see that rejection. We have another fair value gap. We come up, and then I want to see reject this, and then I want to go see a straight down move, right? Normally, that's what we want to see. Today was very choppy, very slow action, and it was very, fake out kind of action, right? That's something that we want to pay attention to. And it's kind of the Monday and Tuesday, we've been getting very similar action like that. So ended up getting stopped on this trade. Again, recently, Monday and Tuesday, pretty much every sort of trade that we've taken that has gotten stopped, our bias is almost always spot on. Our bias is almost always spot on. Again, I had clear draw on liquidity being this low. I was confident this low was going to get taken. Even when I got stopped, I said in the live session, I'm like, no, I'm not looking at long. This is going to be the draw. I'm telling you right now, this will get taken. Just all of this action beforehand ends up coming down later. So I put my stop just a little bit too tight on this trade. Again, once we came up to, this was that news candle. I did hold this through news. This ended up coming up, stopping me out on that high, and then ended up coming back down to that sell side level, and then we actually formed SMT right here on the highs. So this was just, again, unfortunate trade. We had a confident bias, consistent bias has been showing through, right? We've been building our edge. We have confident draw and liquidity recently. Not even recently. We've always had a confident draw, right? And that's something we want to take advantage of. If I go into the market and I have, a confident draw and liquidity, the biggest thing I have to work on now is that execution, right? And that's kind of been the biggest thing that when we go back and journal, or we go back and do these charting sessions at night, that's been the biggest thing we've been focusing on, is the execution side of it, right? The draw, our draw and liquidity has been pretty much spot on every time. Any sort of trades we have a clear draw and liquidity. The only really problem has been execution, right? A lot of the times we might get, a good trade, we get a fair value gap, I enter in, it might not be in discount, and I end up getting stopped, and then the trade goes in my favor. So it's just finding out the best possible entries, right? The best possible probability, the best RR to get those, sniper entries. And it's very hard to get those sniper entries when we have, choppy action like this. So taking this into account, right? Learning from this, again, great setup, literally A+ setup. We have external liquidity being swept. We have market structure shift, right? Big displacement. Notice this is what I want to see. Boom. Huge displacement to the downside. Pull back to discounted fair value gap, enter short. This is an A+ setup, right? This is exactly what we want to see. Ended up just getting up that little wick, boom, stopped out, and then ended up going in our favor. Again, it happens, right? It happens. This is why following risk management, again, days like this are why proper position sizing in risk management is so important, right? Because, again, most of the time, we will be rewarded on this. You guys got to recommend. We've had two losing days in a row. So 2 losing days in a row, I have to recognize that and say, okay, what's the problem with it? Am I doing something wrong, or am I doing something right and I'm just, I'm just losing? Again, losing is part of the game. And that's the case with looking back at the trades that we've taken. A lot of the trades that we've taken, I have not, they've been good setups. They have been solid setups. It's just we've been having rough action recently. And I know if I was to take this setup 9 out of 10 times, 8 out of 10 times, most of the time I'm going to get rewarded for that, right? So I have to take that knowing I'm building good habits, right? I'm following good risk management. I have good stops. I have good risk to reward. Again, this is a 4 risk to reward. We've taken how many losses? 4 or 5? One of these trades will wipe out all of those losses, right? Sticking to this, right? Sticking to solid risk management, solid risk to reward, and trusting it, right? 2 days of red is not going to, shake me out of my strategy. And that's what's hard for a lot of new traders is they'll have a losing week or a losing couple days and they'll automatically think their strategy is broken. They'll automatically think it's broken. Guys, it's not fucking broken. It's not broken. Trust me, right? It's just certain market conditions aren't going to be favorable for your action, right? For your edge. And that's okay. But don't change the way you trade just because you have a couple losing days, right? Look back and journal and figure out what the actual root of the problem is, right? Are you, actually doing something wrong? Are you trading wrong? What's actually the problem here? So again, totally fine taking this loss. This is an A+ setup. I know I will most likely get rewarded for this. Again, our bias was right. Draw and liquidity ended up getting met. It just happened and just got that, stop, take out, right? Just unfortunate. Rest of the day, not really any setup. There might have been a possible scalp model that we'll check NQ, but let's take that trade, or we'll take a look at that NQ trade that we took here as well. So going over on NQ. Now, this setup, in my opinion, was a little premature. And the reason is to me, in my eyes, we didn't get a clear, a super clear market structure shift. And the reason is because we had this liquidity swept, again, big displacement back in the range. Again, not a bad setup, right? We have everything we want. External swept, displacement back inside the range. But when I got this displacement, I was like, okay, there's not really a low here that we've kind of broken through. This is kind of a low that we've broken through. So I took this as our market structure shift. And you can see we had this fair value gap, this very small fair value gap, and we actually rejected this a lot. Boom, rejection, boom, rejection, boom, rejection. This ended up creating a little low resistance liquidity move on a smaller time frame, and we ended up breaking through this and getting stopped out, and then ended up coming up and forming SMT at the highs. So again, this trade is a little bit lower quality, and the reason is because the market structure shift was not clear. Now, the real trade, or the real setup, in my opinion, was after this right here. Once we formed this SMT, we swept internal, we have an SMT at the high. I then wait for market structure shift, right? Because right here, there hasn't really been any significant low being broken. This hasn't been broken. That hasn't been broken. Okay, so then we put a low in here. We put another low in here, and then finally we get a good break, right? Boom, big displacement to the downside. We get a fair value gap. This would have been my short, right? This would have been an A+ short. I was looking to take a short here on NQ, and I never got my entry on this. So ended up entering just a little bit too early. Again, clear draw on liquidity. I had a clear bias being the draw. Once I got this being the valid market structure shift, in my opinion, looked for that pullback to fair value gap. Never got that entry. Unfortunate. And we ended up selling off right to that sell side level. And then the rest of the day, kind of just chopped a little bit here, and then we ended up just running up to that external buy side level. So let's look at ES and NQ. I kind of want to see if there was a potential scalp model today. Let's pull up ES 1 minute. All right. Okay. So again, once we break out of this range, looking on a bigger time frame, right, this becomes market structure shift on a bigger time frame because we just swept these external lows. We're in a daily fair value gap. This now becomes our market structure shift on a bigger time frame, and I knew that coming into the day, right? Now, I traded this liquidity sweep because we had displacement back down, but I knew if we were to break through this, we were probably going to go much higher because this is now our market structure shift, right? On a bigger time frame as well, I would consider this market structure shift. So we'll talk about what I'm looking at going into tomorrow, but right now that we've broken through that, I could expect a continuation higher. So we have a clear draw being higher now that we've broken through that level. So now what do we look for our scalp model? Possible SMT. Do we have SMT here? No. We have SMT here. We swept this low. We do have a little bit of an SMT here. ES comes down, sweeps this low. Oh, actually, no, it's not. It's not, sorry. Continuing to look. Any SMT formed here? 3 equal lows put in there, not really anything. Nothing here. Maybe here. Did put a low in here, did put a low in there. That got swept as well. Nope, not really anything there as well. Doesn't look like we really got any sort of scalp model today. We formed equal lows. I wouldn't really take that. If we broke through that, that'd be into SMT, but we formed equal lows. Low here, equal low. Yeah. No really scalp model today that formed. If there's none on the 1 minute, there's definitely not any on the 5 minute. Again, this is just a straight up move, right? All right, yeah, the rest of the action was kind of boring. It was just kind of a straight up move the rest of the day. All right, so let's talk about what we're looking at going into tomorrow. So first thing I'm looking at the 4 hour. Actually, go down to 1 hour first. On ES. Actually, I'm going to mark this here. What's this right here, boys? And ladies and gentlemen. The BB, the big old BB. So, daily fair value gap now getting respected. Look at this daily candle. Shoo, big yonker to the upside, right? What is up here? Daily fair value gap. This is what I think the draw on liquidity is on a bigger time frame. Is this daily fair value gap is what I want to see a price retrace back into. Zooming back down to a 1 hour. We've now bounced from the lows. Super strong displacement to the upside, right? Super strong. That's how we know market's ready to go down. What's all this to the left, right? What have we been talking about the last couple charting sessions? We've been expecting to see a big move, and I'm expecting to see probably a continuation move to the upside going into tomorrow. Again, all of this now becomes low resistance liquidity. We can see we've finally broken out. Big displacement to the upside. We've finally taken out some of these highs. I think all of these highs now get taken out, and we go towards that daily fair value gap, right? So this, to me, is we have market structure shift. We have a clear 1 hour breaker block. I'm going to mark this in. 1 hour BB. Again, breaker block is that market structure shift. We have a big move up, big move down. Pull this over. I'd want to see price retrace back into this level. at discount area, and then look to see a possible bounce back higher to take out this buy side level up here. Right now, we're in this 1 hour fair value gap. We've started to reject it a little bit, starting to sell it back off. Could definitely see us now retrace back to discount and then see higher. We are in this 4 hour fair value gap here as well. Have a lot of these 1 hour fair value gaps here, but I'd want to see us possibly come back to discount and then see the reaction, right? So what would I want to see, right? If I'm going to look to take a trade or look to, in the overnight session, right? So I go down to the 15-minute, right? What would I want to see? Well, I want to see us come back in here and then possibly look for this, right? Markets come down in the overnight session. We start to maybe form some structure, form some lows. Boom. Lows get taken. Boom, boom. Shoo. Right? Sell side swept. Market structure shift on a smaller time frame. Long. First target. Internal buy side. Let the runner go, right? That's what I'd want to see going into tomorrow. Would bias flip to short if we ran into that daily fair value gap on the overnight? We won't run into that in that fair value gap in the overnight. If we go into this daily fair value gap in the overnight, I will. I gotta be careful about what I say here. I'll give you free merch. I'll give you literally whatever you want. I'll give you your size and everything that we manufacture. If we get up in this daily fair value gap. I'm confident that we will not go in this daily fair value in the overnight session. All of us? No, just the person who said that. Looking at the 30-minute, would you take shorts 15075 or wait, well, patience. We'll get into NQ. We'll get into NQ in a second. I took this trade here at 115-ish. My bias was seeing the fair value gap hold, and I made my entry on the internal fair value gap. I'm wondering if this was more of a C+ setup since because there was a bigger time frame fair value gap below and was nowhere near discount of the move. Can I get your thoughts? Let's check it out. Now, okay, I actually really like this trade, and I'll tell you why. Because you waited. You waited for the confirmation first, right? Now, you had this fair value gap. Now, what? No, what is this? Yes, 1 minute. Let me see if I can find this. There it is. Now, the reason I like this is because you have a fair value gap here, but you don't enter right when this comes in, right? You wait. What do you wait for? Internal market structure shift, right? You have equal lows here. Equal lows get swept. Big displacement back up. You have equal highs. Clear trend move, right? Clear trend move. Boom. You're following the trend. We're breaking out on a bigger time frame. Pull back to fair value gap. Once we get that, big buy up, wait for the first fair value gap. You take longs. Targeting buy side. Boom. You could have targeted, left a runner to that 1 hour fair value gap here as well. Stop. Low. Whatever you want to do. Yeah. I like this trade a lot. Now, it would be even better. What would make this even better, or what would make this actually like a scout model? This is pretty much a scout model just without an SMT. So what would have made this really like a lot better would have been like this. This would be A+. This is very similar to the trade that we took yesterday that got stopped. That, again, I'm very confident on trades like this. You'll see very few. Again, it depends just on the action. If you have clean action like that, that trade is always a good one. Always a good one to take. Especially if you have a clean draw, right? Seeing so much progress 1 month in, bro. Let's go, Matt. That's fire, bro. I tool the exact trade, but entered off the first 1 minute fair value gap and got stopped. Yep, that's why you wait, right? Pull back into that fair value gap, wait for the reaction, then wait for the internal market structure shift, and then take the next fair value gap, right? Right? When we talk about our model, like yesterday, you guys remember yesterday's session? Again, it's just like this. Imagine this is like a 1 minute chart, right? Imagine this is a 1 minute chart, or like this is a 1 minute chart. Now, you could enter longs right when we come back into this breaker block. I mean, okay, if this is a 1 minute, then I actually do take longs in this fair value gap, but it's not, right? I would come down, wait for the reaction. Once I get the reaction and I get my internal model, then I take that long, right? That's going to give me, that's going to be a higher probable of me actually hitting my PT and not getting stopped, right? It's less probability for me to get stopped out if I'm going to wait for that initial reaction and look for an internal model to then just initially take longs, right? Because we could just go right through this, right? That's why we want to wait for the reaction. All starting to make sense? Let's go. Is anybody trade from Ninja Trader app? It's easy to trade from app. Never traded from my app. In identifying market structure shift, what time frame should I be looking at mainly? Or it doesn't matter. Market structure shift, again, you can use it on any time frame. Again, all we're doing is overlapping models, right? So this is our buy model just on a 4-hour time frame, right? Come down, daily fair value gap, market structure, or we have liquidity swept. We've pulled back the discount of this range. Big displacement back up, right? This would be that first high. Big displacement back up. That's our market structure shift, right? So it's just overlapping these models, right? This is what gives us our daily bias, right? If we just had market structure shift on a bigger time frame, what's going to be my bias? Well, I'm going to be short until we come into this breaker block. But I think the draw on liquidity is this high. Yeah, this recording will be posted. All right, let's check out NQ. So looking at NQ. We have relative highs acting as buy side. Looking at the 4-hour. What is this here? What does this become? Now that we've swept sell side, bouncing off 4-hour fair value gap, big displacement back up after sweeping sell side, and bearish PD arrays are getting disrespected, right? This is what we want to pay attention to right here. Bearish PD arrays getting disrespected. 4-hour bearish fair value gap getting ran through. What do I want to see this become? Want to see this now become inverse fair value gap. So I want to see us come back into this, which should be discount. If I'm looking at the 1-hour. Yep. I want to see this come back into discount. 1-hour fair value gap as well. Possibly could come here. Again, we are in a 4-hour fair value gap as well, just like ES. So I'm expecting the same thing. Big displacement back up. Market structure shift on a smaller time frame. 1-hour. Looking to see a retracement back into this inverse fair value gap on a 4-hour. Internal structure shift, and then equal highs. Clean. Super clean chart on the 4-hour here. Super clean, in my opinion. I think draw is going to be higher for the rest of the week. Unless stated otherwise. Unless we get just a sell-off in the overnight session and then we somehow open up like down here or something. I don't know. But I'm pretty confident in a run the rest of the week. What's a breaker block? A breaker block is a ICT concept. And it is an order block that gets pulled through price action once we get broken through. So you can see here, I only draw breaker blocks in if it aligns with a market structure shift, meaning we have sell side liquidity here, right? That's the first thing we need. So what comes after that? What am I looking after sell side? Some sort of market structure shift, meaning I need some sort of high being broken with big displacement. Boom. We have a high here, big displacement. Notice what this looks like. This is how a breaker block looks. Big move up, big move down, right? This is what an order block looks like, or the band no supply, whatever you want to call it, right? This then gets pulled over through price action like an inverse fair value gap, and when we come back down to this now gets respected. A PD array is an ICT like a fair value gap, order block, breaker block, buy side, sell side, all of that is PD arrays. Does lower resistance liquidity only work on lower time frames? No. Lower resistance liquidity works on every time frame. Yes, I do think we have low resistance liquidity. Again, I'm expecting a big move on NQ, right? We've come down, come the discount, right? Boom. High to the lows, retrace the discount, big displacement back up, pulling back inverse fair value gap, clear equal highs above us, clear downtrend, clear low resistance liquidity. I think we have a big move coming in the, coming in the rest of this week. I feel like we are pretty bullish the rest of the week. We'll see what happens. Isn't there an SMT formed on the 1 hour? Let me check. Yes, but it's not in favor of the draw. So I don't take it into account. I mean, I can take it. Actually, is there? What high is that? Wait, am I looking at? No, I'm not. There is an SMT here, but again, this doesn't mean anything to me. Again, we can sell off to discount. This SMT right now is already in favor. It's already working out right now. But once we come down to this SMT is no longer, I don't care about this because now we've retraced a discount. Can you explain low resistance liquidity? Okay, let's talk about this. Low resistance liquidity. What is low resistance liquidity? First thing we gotta understand, what's buy side, what's sell side, right? That was very sloppy. Okay, if we're looking at this chart here, right? What's our buy side? What's the obvious high, right? Buy side, okay? Now, let's say we kind of have action like this. Or, whatever, right? So if I'm coming into today, right? If I'm coming into today and I see all of these highs here, right? And I'm like, okay, I'm going to look for let's say this is a 15-minute chart, right? And I'm like, all right, I want to look at, I want to look to see some sort of high being broken, right? All right, so we have, this high. We have this high. We have so many highs here, right? There's no clear, how do I know if this is buy side? How do I know if this is buy side? How do I know if this is buy side? Well, technically, this is all considered buy side liquidity. There's a bunch of liquidity resting at these areas, right? All of these highs, there's liquidity resting there, right? So I wait to see the reaction. I know by looking at these highs, I can expect this to be what we call low resistance liquidity run. This is true buy side. This is true buy side, right? So if we want to go to true buy side, what's going to happen? We're going to go most likely run through all of these highs because there's no really significant high here for us to come and take liquidity from. Now we can, right? That's why it's always wait for the reaction. We could definitely come up, maybe sweep this level of density displacement, then look to take a short, right? That'd be fine. I'd love that. That's as good as well. But if we can break through this with strong volume and we continue higher, I'm expecting to see an automatic push towards buy side because this becomes what we call low resistance liquidity run. Does that make sense? It's pretty much, okay, it's literally pretty much just a downtrend, but you have to have structure. There has to be some sort of bias, right? Just because there's a downtrend or just because there's an uptrend and you want to break out, it doesn't work like that. That doesn't mean it's low resistance. It has to be in favor of the draw. Does that make sense? Exactly. There isn't much resistance because there's so many highs, right? And again, resistance is not really something that we, I mean, yeah. Again, like another example of low resistance liquidity would be this, right? Let's say this. Have a significant low. Let's say maybe we have, maybe 3 equal lows, right? 3 equal lows. And then we can maybe come up, maybe sweep, some sort of buy side level. Then we come down. Let's say, we do this. And then we, maybe boom, 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 coming to a fair value gap, right? Okay. So let's say this, right? Liquidity swept up here, right? Market structure shift here, right? Boom. We have a fair value gap. Okay, what can I expect the draw on liquidity to be? What can I expect the draw on liquidity to be? The low-hanging fruit. Low-hanging fruit draw on liquidity. What can I expect it to be? Not this low. Not this low. But this low, right? This becomes low resistance liquidity. because we have a model, right? We have a clear draw on liquidity being this sell side first and then this sell side. This is our external sell side. But this is low-hanging fruit. This low right here is low-hanging fruit because this is the initial move to the downside. This is the pullback to discounted fair value gap. Once we reject this, right, you can maybe see internal sweep, right? Boom, boom. And then we get that rejection, right? So then rejection, pullback to fair value gap. If we break one of these lows, I'm not looking to take off any sort of position. This is where you let your runners run, right? Am I looking to take partials? You can, but why would I? Why would I? I have confidence that this is low-hanging fruit. This is clear. I'm confident this low is going to get taken. I'm confident this low is going to get taken. So why take off any sort of position here or here? Let the market do the work for you. If you have clear low resistance liquidity run and you have a model that plays out in favor of that and you have a clear draw on liquidity, you have to have confidence with that. And if you have confidence with that, you should not be taking any sort of position off until that confident level is taken. Then you take it off, then you let the runners go, right? Because then I'm not very, I'm confident in this, but I have a little bit less confidence in this, right? Because this is what we call low-hanging fruit. This is easy. We know this is going to get taken, right? And when you could come into the market with that kind of confidence and say, you know what, if I get stopped, I get stopped. But I have confidence that this low is going to get taken, right? I come into the market every single day with that kind of confidence, right? You have to. And if the market says otherwise, okay, you flip your bias. Let's say we don't get that. Let's say we, come up and I get stopped and then we want to go higher, like today. All right, I flip my bias, right? Maybe zoom out. All right, maybe, this is market structure shift on a bigger time frame, right? That's the exact way that we want to trade. But if we have some sort of level like this, you have to be able to let your contracts run. And that's why you're going to be able to get, again, if you're struggling with having big losers and small winners, this is why. Let your contracts run to confident levels. Confident draw on liquidity, let your contracts run to those levels. We know how markets move, right? Rebalance price, grab liquidity, target liquidity. So if we're targeting some sort of level and we have confidence with that level, let your contracts run to that level. Don't take it off beforehand. Make sense? What are your thoughts on this short? Did NQ take that low already? I think so. It's a little bit lower probability, but it's not bad. I think you had an SMT here as well. I think if I remember looking at this correctly, I think there was an SMT in favor. Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad. But it's lower quality because this low is already taken, right? Since this low is already taken, looking to see lower is lower quality. TGR said he thinks monthly high that was swept was nothing more than a sweep, and then we had lower rather than making new highs in a few months, purely due to economic conditions. What do you think? In the next couple months, yes, but in the next week, no. I mean, we're not going to get some sort of dump. I mean, we can't. Again, market can do whatever it wants. So I'm not even going to say that because market will, right when you think the market's not going to do something, it's going to do something. Now, on a bigger time frame, right? If I'm looking at a bigger time frame, I still think that we have these equal lows down here that's going to act as sell side. Do I think we're going to come to this? Yes, I do think we're going to come to this. But just looking at this action alone, I think we have higher to go before going lower. So I had to take that into account. If I'm bullish on this time frame and I'm going to trade intraday, I'm going to be bullish going into tomorrow, right? Even though if I'm bearish on a weekly or a monthly, that literally has no correlation to me going into tomorrow trading, right? Definitely need to practice letting price run to confident levels rather than taking early TP. Yep. It's all confidence. It's all just having confidence. Guys, okay, this is the way I like to think about it. This is the way I like to think about it. I truly believe the reason that I am profitable is because I tell myself I know what the market's going to do. And I kind of do. If I have a confident model, that's what experience is. That's literally what experience is. I have enough experience trading this strategy that when I get a condition like that, what we just went over, that model, I have confidence knowing the market's going there. I know. I just know. Anybody tells me, they're like, yo, I'm long biased. I'm going to be like, no, market's going here. Watch. Like, market's going here. Watch. Just because I've built up so much time and experience with that, and I know how markets move, and I know how markets hunt liquidity, and I know what levels are easy pickings. I know what levels are easy pickings. I know what levels are going to obviously get taken. So I position myself to target what those levels are. But I constantly tell myself and constantly build confidence with those models because I know what the draw of liquidity is. That when we always talk about, that's my biggest edge in the market, is knowing what the draw of liquidity is. And that just takes time. And it's just using these models. How do you decide when to partial, when to do full TP? It all depends on the trade, right? It depends, if we're getting sloppy action, if market's clear, if we have, clear sell side, are we going to take off at, an early low? It depends on the trade. Can you take a look at 1007 silver bullet on NQ? Let's check. Yeah, we talked about this. I don't like this. I mean, the reason I don't like this, again, this is silver bullet in my opinion. This would have been silver bullet, but it never got touched. So I guess you could say this is silver bullet. But again, silver bullet needs some sort of opposing liquidity and some sort of break. Right here, there's no break yet. And this fair value gap is so small. That's why I didn't like this first trade. Looking back, I think this was a lower quality setup because this fair value gap was so tiny. And there was no clear market structure shift as well. But this is silver bullet because we actually get a break. Displacement, external swept. Silver bullet is overlapping with our model that we would have already taken. We're taking this model no matter what, even if it's silver bullet or not, right? So I don't like taking this entry, to be honest. I wouldn't have taken this. I would have taken this though, but this just never got entered. And again, sometimes you won't get it, but most of the time you will. Sometimes like this, again, sloppy action won't give you entries. All right. Anybody have any questions? How do you know when you can leave a low alone or high alone? What do you mean by that? Confused on the question. When NQ swept sell side, would you immediately look for a buy model, or do you always wait for SMT? Swept sell side, it depends on the level, right? Now, the reason I'm a little bit skeptical taking longs here is because if we come up and sweep this level, I'm confident that whatever that low, right? This is our low-hanging fruit. This is low-hanging fruit. This is your runners, right? So since we come down and sweep here, I'm waiting to see the reaction. Are we going to break through this? If we break through this with big volume, this gives me some confidence that the draw is going to be lower. But once we come down and sweep this level, and I can see that this is just smart money accumulation. This is literally just smart money accumulating to then push price higher. Since there's no break here, I would look to take more longs than I would shorts. But if we come down here, break this low, that would be market structure shift on a bigger time frame, right? Because we have a high. What's the first low that's going to be broken, right? This would be market structure shift, and then pull back to whatever that fair value gap is targeting lower, right? All right, let's do a replay session. We'll do like 10-minute replay session because I know I'll go for a long time. What do we want to do? What do we want to try today? What did we do? GBP JPY was kind of weird. BTC? Should we try BTC? I don't even know if BTC would work. Let's try it. I don't know. BTC action's kind of wacky, bro. BTC action's kind of wacky. This looks like a fucking meme coin, bro. Like, bro, what is this? Wait, let me pull up. Wait, hold up. Okay, it's actually not that bad, I guess. Wait, what did I even have marked in? What is that, a monthly fair value gap? A weekly? Look at that weekly fair value gap. Look at this, guys. Market structure shift. Model still playing out. What's easy pickings? What's the easy draw this high, right? Boom, pull back to discount. Boom, pull back to discount. Big displacement back up. Clear draw. Market structure shift. Big displacement. Pull back to fair value gap. Pull back to discount. Boom, big candle coming up, targeting the draw. Okay, see, okay, weekly is clean, though. That's the weekly, though, bro. That's like, all right, this is telling me draw is definitely probably higher on a bigger time frame. Probably we'll see this weekly fair value gap here. All right, let me go to a 4 hour. Let me just pick somewhere random. Again, this action up here is a lot different, so we'll just kind of like replay like here, I guess. We'll zoom in. All right. Bing, bang, bong, boop. All right. Zoom in. Kind of in this 4 hour fair value gap here, starting to hold. All right, let's get it. All right, boom. Buy side, sell side, 4 hour time frame. Starting to reject off this 4 hour fair value gap. We'll see if we bounce. If not, I want to see us come down, sweep this low, then look to see that bounce, right? So go down a smaller time frame. Right now, I'd just be waiting. Looks like markets might want to go lower. Looking to see that sweep at that level. Still never came down, never swept. All right, buy side's taken. What am I looking? Displacement back down. Still no displacement. We kind of have possibly a lower time frame setup. Dude, I can't even zoom in. 15 minutes? Bro. I don't know if Bitcoin will work. I don't know if we'll be able to do this because I can't zoom in. I can't zoom in to see smaller models. I guess we'll just look at this. All right. This kind of does suck. I like the action, but I can't replay it. Like, I can't replay it the way that I want to. 1 hour. All right, this is not bad at all. That's clear sells right there, right? Marks are shift, big displacement pullback. I would look to take this for value gap there. Doom. Come up, sweep this high here. Big displacement back down, pull back to fair value gap. What would I want to see get met? I want to see these lows get met. But we are in this fair value gap, so we need to break through this, right? If we want to see lower, we need to break through this fair value gap. Again, still holding this fair value gap. Need to break through it. My stop would be at that high. But right now, we're still holding. There we go. We break through it. Let's get through it. Let's get through it. There we go. Draw should be that low. Draw should be that low. Oh my God, BTC fakes me out. Fakes me out. BTC is a little faker. It's a little fakey. Did that high get swept? No, it didn't. There we go. High gets swept. Wait to see the reaction. Don't like it yet. Don't like it yet. Whoa, what the hell was that? Bro, what? that had to have been news, right? September 21st. That's literally my bro, this is on my birthday. I tanked this shit, bro. What the hell? My bad. Wait, Bitcoin is actually kind of shaped. Wait, I want to look at the 4 hour. Wait, this is kind of... What the... What the... See, that's low resistance liquidity right there, in my opinion. So we see... This eventually get taken out, right? All these lows right here will eventually get taken out. Want to see the reaction come up, sweep this high. Come up, sweep the high, displacement back down. See, this is where I zoom in, right? But I can't. I mean, I guess I can 1 hour. Not really. I mean, again, I want to zoom in more. Again, this is clear sell model right here, right? External swept, internal swept. Big displacement back down. Again, mark structure shift. This is where there would be a setup here, but I can't zoom in to like a 15-minute. Pull back to fair value gap. The clear draw on liquidity would be this. Boom, 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 boom. So what could I expect? Probably discount of this range. There we go. Sell side gets met. That would be pretty much most of my half the contracts off, stop at break even. And I can't tell because I can't zoom in. See, when I talk about overlapping models, right now I can't overlap models. So a lot of the setups are lower quality because I can't get every time frame matched. You feel? Exhaustion. Wait, where are we right now? Hella exhaustion, hella exhaustion. All of this right here. Where are we going, bro? Bitcoin's actually a meme. Ethereum, I'm not trading Ethereum. Or I'm not doing it. I'm not doing Ethereum replay. Wait, what does the bigger time frame look like? Are we at all-time highs right now? We are at all-time highs. Oh, all-time highs, what is it? 64? I'm gonna be fucking rich, boys. Yeah, I'm holding this until 2022. All right, no meme shit. All right, let's see. Again, would want to see this become low resistance. This would be my buy side. We break through. Want to see all those highs get broken through. There we go. Right? Notice all these highs get broken through with a big move. Come up, sweep that level. Boing, bang, bong. Displace back lower. This is where I zoom in. Boom. External swept. What's my market structure shift? Right here. Would want to see a pullback to fair value gap. Bing. Initial. Early sell. I guess that's kind of a late sell. Draw on liquidity would be these equal lows down here. Would look for, oh, that would have been another sell right here. Come up, sweep that high, displacement back down. Another model would probably be on a smaller time frame. This would be half off. This would be half off. This would be runners. But again, BTC might troll me here. That should get taken. No doubt. There you go. No doubt about it. Displacement up. Displacement up, maybe. Kind of slow action for the upside. Four-hour fair value gap here. Getting respected. What could I see? Low-hanging fruit being this high. Again, this is very, very late. Again, this is overlapping models right here. Bounce off 4-hour fair value gap, then you get the displacement, then you get another fair value gap on a 1-hour, then you wait for that, and then you can maybe even zoom in here and get another fair value gap, right? And then you have a clear draw on liquidity. But again, I can't zoom in that far. Because this shit sucks and it doesn't have past data. BTC is pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. Here. What the hell? Draw gets met. Did we sweep that high? No, we didn't. I'm just gonna keep it running and just play off the draw. Let's see how that works. Let's see how that works. All right. I'm gonna pick a random spot on Bitcoin. Actually, let's do it on GBP, JPY. GBP, GBBP, JPY. I'm gonna clear the chart. I'm gonna pick a random spot. I'm gonna trade the 15-minute. And I'm just gonna trade based off of what I think the draw on liquidity is. Okay. Get a little information. All right, let's go. Okay, that low gets whipped. Is there anything? Did we sweep that high? Yeah, we did. I think all that becomes low resistance here as well. Bigger time frame, that should be a fair value gap. Want to see that high get met here, this 159 level. Probably would take some kind of partial. But again, the draw should be that 159. Ooh! Oh, we didn't even take that low out. Oh, that was a bad. Still should see the 159. Okay, there we go. Okay, again, we should still see higher. Pull back to discount of this range. I'm guessing somewhere around here. Look for internal. There we go. That's a late entry. Come up. Did we sweep that high? Yeah, we did. What the fuck is that? Wait, bigger time frame. Where were we in this massive fair value gap? Just swept all of these highs here. Wait, did we sweep that? No, we didn't. Would want to see that low. There you go. Want to see this low get swept, or actually big displacement already to the upside. Would want to see this high here. There you go. Now we broke through this. Want to see displacement, big displacement back down. Short, would want to see at least some of these lows get met now. Still bullish. Since we broke through that, I'm expecting draw to be higher. There we go. Now we broke. Again, this is like kind of, we're in very hard area now because we have no action to the left of us to base anything off of. So I'm going to wait for structure. Dude, I always say I'm going to do this for like 10 minutes and then I go on for so long. But it's so fun, bro. It's really so fun. Kind of just going to want to see a little more structure. Bullish. Sweeps that. Breaking through. A little bit slower action, chopping. Displacement back up. Expecting that high. Now that we swept that high, going to see if we get displacement back down or not. Looks like we're still going higher. Still going higher. Big displacement back down. Woo. Swept that low, though. Slow action back up. I'd look to sell now. We want to see a bigger sell. This low becomes low resistance. Sweep that high. Big displacement back down. Should see this low get met here. This low 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 here. This is the draw. This is the draw. This is the draw. This low here. If this would be stop here. Slow action. Again, I don't like that. It's so slow. So we have a lower probability now. It's getting so slow, but I still would want the draw to be here. Action's so slow. Holy shit. We are chopping. We are chopping. That was... We literally moved nowhere for how long? Bro, what is this? There we go. That low gets taken. Bro, what is that? That high get never got taken. Okay, so that would have been good. This low, I would want to see this low become the draw, but right now, possibly look to see a high get swept and then take it back lower. Again, all this would be lower probable. What the? Oh. That would have been my target right there. That was a late. I want to see that become the low. Oh my god, it's too fast. What is going on? Oh! I just lost all my money. I'm broke. All right. I'm going to stay here all night if we continue this. I'm going to end the session here. We're up to an hour. All right. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. I will see you all tomorrow. Enjoy the rest of your night, guys. Peace out, guys. Later.